ESPN, I know, has been going through a lot. I mean, you even look at what we've got here at 640, the Hurricane.
Yeah.
I mean, we got two of the biggest names. Names, brands that were built and molded by ESPN and Dan Patrick and Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
Lou, they were the cornerstone for me of ESPN radio. When I first tuned into ESPN radio, those are the two voices that I listened to that got me locked into ESPN radio.
Yeah.
I was around when ESPN first signed up. ESPN was the image of stability, the brand. ESPN. What a huge monolithic name. Mm-hmm. What is stunning to me today is how that brand is just eroded, where you see its biggest names now, and it's confusing to me. Mm-hmm. I see Skip Bayless, a name that was made, again, by ESPN, is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Some of those biggest names have escaped, and what they had that was stable is now gone. Mike and Mike, 18 years. I know what it's like doing a radio show for 18 years. It's not easy, and to be around for 18 years is something. I completely applaud what they had there. And I was confused as to why Mike Greenberg was going to be leaving and what was going on there.
I knew the ratings were not doing well, and the ratings had been tanking for a while. So, I mean, my assumption was because, I didn't hear anything about anything he was doing. So when the cut was made, I was like, all right, well, ratings have been down. I assume he's probably just leaving.
I swear I saw him on SportsCenter or on just regular ESPN, just doing what he used to do before he went to Mike and Mike, which, I think the last time he did SportsCenter, he had frosted tips. I'll let you know how long ago. I swear, I think, yeah.
Oh, my.
That was Mike Greenberg 18 years ago.
I go out of my way to refuse to watch ESPN now. I don't even bother with it anymore. It gives me no value anymore.
Why is that? What's changed? I still watch ESPN a good bit, but what is tough for me is, names that you used to know, Chris Berman, when you would tune in, they're just gone. You don't know who these people are. And it's like, why do you have so much turnover, and why can ESPN, what they were known for, stability, consistency. Mm-hmm. What is going on with ESPN and their stability and consistency?
One of the things that has been kind of trickling into sports so much has been politics. And they tried it with Jemele Hill and Michael Smith, and it didn't work out, obviously. Jemele Hill obviously she got moved off of that show specifically for that reason, for her being too political outside of the actual platform. Mm-hmm. But they try to push almost an agenda on you.
But they've got a show now that she's doing, and they got a whole network that is going to be focusing on that. That's why she left.
Yeah, that whole thing,
SC6 or whatever they called it,
whatever the hell that was it once again refused to watch. So when they did that, there was a reason for it. They had to reprimand her at a point in time, but they were just setting her up to do something else because she's polarizing and she brings eyes. And people forget it's a media company. Yeah. They're looking for money. They don't give a crap what you think.
Of course.
But if you hate it, you're going to tune in. If you love it, you're also going to tune in.
But they're wanting to, it seems like they're trying to, and what they're doing with her and other people as well, is they're doing the sports and social commentary.
Yes.
They want to combine the two.
Which is kind of the reason why a lot of people have been swaying away from ESPN, is because they've been...
And you're seeing a growth of Barstool Sports and some other sidelines that are coming in. The growth of Fox Sports.
The very first time that I realized that this was like a big issue was when Pat McAfee decided that he was going to go into media, but not with ESPN, not with Fox, not big names, and he went to Barstool. I'm like, this is a huge shift in sports media.
When anyone would shun ESPN, the monolithic brand of ESPN, and say, no, I'm going to pass on you. And no one would, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you don't pass on ESPN. First of all, you have no other options.
No.
And that is part of it, too, now. I think you have other options. And it seems like these other options, they've got more attitude. There's a little bit more fun. There's a little bit more pop culture and attitude that's with it, without the social, political commentary, which seems to be polarizing. And you can't tell me there's not going to be drama around this. I saw just right before we got in here, I guess the move for taking Golic and Wingo, which, by the way, I read last night that ratings are down from Mike and Mike a year ago, 20%. So ratings are tanking with Golic and Wingo in the morning, and now they're going to be moving them to ESPN News. But here's what's happening. Mike Greenberg is going to be paid $6.5 million, the former dude that was with Golic doing Mike and Mike. He's going to be partnering up with Jalen Rose. They're taking Michelle Beadle, another name that they've made, Sports Nation, and are going to be moving her down for Get Up, a new show debuting. I think it's going to be April 2nd. I think it's going to run in place of Sports Center, but part of that is moving Golick and Wingo then over to ESPN News. That's part of the whole thing.
It's a complete disaster.
So Mike Greenberg is coming in and sticking it. One mic is sticking it to the other mic. I mean, right? I mean, he's moving in a better slot, more viewers, and you're saying, hey, look, your former partner is better than you. $6.5 million. I probably guarantee Golick is not making $6.5 million with ESPN.
No, unless it equates to donuts or something like that. I don't think that he's making anywhere near that. And Greenberg is making big money, but this show, it's quoted from Greenberg that they said, if politics come into our everyday life, we would be
irresponsible, I think, in a sense, is kind of the attitude that they're
not
taking.
not talk about it. It's like,
right.
Okay, when now does politics not come into our lives? So you're basically telling me that you're going to be putting on a political sports show.
Well, it sounds like. So what is this for the sports liberal? Is what they're going to be doing?
I mean, I would assume because 90% of sports media right now is kind of pushing towards that liberal side. ESPN has been accused tons of times of pushing a sort of liberal agenda, and I don't think that whether you're conservative or liberal, it doesn't matter. It's just like, I want to hear about sports. And if you want to have your takes, that's fine, but have your takes on your own damn time, not on mine. Mm-hmm. I want to watch Sports Center. I want to watch highlights. I want to watch you give funny names to the baseball players.
Right. And when you come to sports, you don't necessarily want all this deeper social political commentary. You want your sports, you want to feel and act like a dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're going there for an escape from everyday life. Sports has always been an escape. You go to a game to be able to kind of forget about the other things in your life, to be able to engulf yourself in something that's bigger than you.